I'm Don Shanks, with me John Sitton, Alan Hudson. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning all.
We're all looking forward to the games today.
Very much so.
We've got a game kicking off in half an hour. What a blockbuster this is. Everton-Liverpool. How do you think John Liverpool are going to bounce back? They let 7 in at Villa last week. Looked to shambles. Everton are on fire, top of the league. Got a big attacking number, Everton, at the moment.
They've got to show they're worthy champions. I think they can bounce back, and I think they will bounce back. I was talking to you earlier. I can't see anything but goals. I can't see anyone keeping a clean sheet, in all honesty. What I was thinking earlier on, if I'm in Klopp's shoes and this, looking at it from a punter's point of view, is there anyone apart from, with all due respect, and I mean that with the utmost respect, is there anyone apart from Rodriguez that you would have in your side if you were Liverpool manager? Or is there anyone in the Everton side that you think could get in the Everton side apart from James Rodriguez? And for me, the answer is no. I think they'll come back from last week, and I think they're just edging.
Alan?
I think the big one is when you and I were away the other week, we were in a place and we were bumming up, if that's the right word, Salah. But I think the main, I think we both agreed that when we come off field that their main man is Mane, and I think, all right, it was 7-2 last week. They're going to miss him today. He's a threat. I think Everton will look at that team sheet and they'll see if Mane ain't playing again.
But I think the game plan today, I mean, the way I look at it is quite simple. You've got like Pickford making mistakes for fun. You've got Adrian letting 7 last week. Both the goalkeepers under pressure immediately to perform. There's going to be loads of shots today from both teams.
Loads of tackles.
Loads of tackles. Your man Coleman probably might get 5 in the first 10 minutes. 2-1 would look pretty good then. But so I think a lot of it's going to be down to the goalkeepers today. I know they're going to make a rick who makes the most.
You know, they're talking about, Don, they're talking like key area, they're talking about midfield. I'll beg the diff. I think the key area is going to be wide.
I agree with you.
I think like Everton, from an Everton point of view, what they might set up is to keep, because we know like Liverpool play, the fullbacks play high and wide. They might do something to counter it, and I'm assuming maybe 3 up front.
This is the only team you wouldn't want to play against high and wide is Everton.
Yes, yeah.
You've got Rodriguez coming at you, who's got good skill, speed, comes in as a shot. You've got Mikel Larson, same type of player, both hungry to prove themselves. They will slaughter Liverpool if they just push them fullback straight on.
Yeah.
They will definitely have action, and like they'll probably will score.
I think it'll be a key area.
I mean, it's the first time Everton have gone into a game against Liverpool. All right, they're 5-2, 3-1, but they've got a real chance. Top of the league, playing well, scoring lots of goals, and obviously their main scorer at the moment, he got a little rest the other day in the England team when they played Harry Kane, so he's going to be a little bit fresher today.
Calvert-Lewin, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, they're in a great position, Everton. The pressure's on Liverpool. There's no pressure on Everton still. Everton at home as well. They're 3-1. I mean, that's unbelievable value.
I mean, a lot of them local derbies over the years have been 0-0. Like 3 or 4.
Tight
Can't see it today.
I mean, for the first time ever on the Cooper today, I looked and I do the both teams to score. 2-5. Both teams to score in the game.
There's no crowd, and that will filter it down. I think that will reduce the advantage slightly.
I think Everton have got loads of flair players who are going to cause massive problems for Liverpool today.
I've got to say, John, there was no crowd last week. There was about 4,000 goals.
Yeah, no. Well, no, I agree. But the thing with all this like Goodison and Everton are at home and I think Liverpool have shown that they're worthy champions and they'll do what champions do. So
I disagree. I'm with the Toffees today.
We'll have a tenner on the side.
You got it. Draw no bet.
Draw no bet. I'll even call the score.
Oh, he is.
If you give me odds, 1-2.
Well, I think Everton will score a minimum of 3. Liverpool could match them for sure. High scoring game. So all you guys out there, bet the 0-0. You know that's guaranteed. How do you see the score out?
I'm siding with you, Don. I think Everton
they're going to be hungry. They just let 7 in last week.
Yeah.
They're going to think, well, they scored 7. Villa, a team
and
that's struggling.
Has Van Dijk got over that nutmeg with Jack? Has he got over that?
Oh no, he's having nightmares every morning.
You know, his team talk today. I'd love to be a fly on the wall with Klopp. I mean, The other fella, he's been there and done it. The Ancelotti's won everything.
See, when teams play...
What's the saying? You two should know better than anybody, right?
Go on.
Form is temporary, class is permanent.
Right. Well, I think Everton have got plenty of class now. They didn't have it before. Everton's midfield has got the class. And they've got the attacking mindset that will upset Liverpool. Grealish upset Liverpool. They've got Rodriguez who does little things like Grealish as well. That they will give Liverpool a headache. We will see.
We'll have a cockle on it. We'll have a cockle on it. And if I lose, I'll buy you a double Jameson's on the rocks if I lose.
Very kind of you, John. So, all right, enough about that. We're looking forward to that game. Obviously, it would have been great if the crowd would have been there, but that's how it is right now. Your old mob, Chelsea, Southampton. You went to the game last year at the Brits, didn't you? When Southampton beat.
No,
was that the season before?
It was the season before. But that Southampton, as I said earlier on, they've won 7 out of their last 8 away games in the Premier League, which is some achievement. And they've been at all the top teams. I remember last season they were coming to London, beating top teams. Yeah. They won at Tottenham, Arsenal. They're going to be, hopefully, they're going to be a tough.
Are we buying into Chelsea?
Mate,
are they the real deal?
I've got Mimi treble.
So you've got
they're in your blood, John, aren't they?
Well, they are 6 years boy and young man. Yeah, they are. But apart from that, I just think like they'll have a little bit too much class for Southampton.
I mean, Danny Ings again. Yeah, scored a good goal for England the other day. Second, third in the Golden Boot last year. Played well in a team that was struggling all the time.
They had to get Walcott on because they did, for the simple reason. Like I've said all along, I think they rely too much on Danny Ings. You can't rely on one player. You've got to have. I'm talking as a coach now. I'm talking as an ex-coach. I'm talking to you, and it's something that I experience. And it's like the custard pie. And when it don't happen, you've got to have a goal threat coming from as many areas of the football field as you
I don't think they're the one-man team. You know, Walker.
No, I ain't saying that. But goals-wise, you'll find that they are.
Redmond is a player.
Yeah, but then Chelsea score.
Mate,
see it? Yeah, Chelsea.
I'm going Chelsea 3-1. I'm not hanging about. I'm not mucking about.
I'm going to go with the draw, and I think both teams will score. And I want Southampton to do well this season, but I like the manager. What he done last season, when they were going to get rid of him, everybody wanted him out. He went around his resignation in, they didn't accept it, and he went on a fantastic run of the geezer. And they play good football. I like them, they're a good football outfit. Yeah. And I think they're going to give Chelsea a problem. Now, they won't sit back.
No,
and goals again.
I'm thinking, I don't know who's going to win, but I think both teams will score in that game. Yeah, so I'm sort of taking a bit of middle ground. A real interesting game today. Probably the one game which is going to be the tactical mindset of the whole game, the whole Premier League fixtures today. Man City, Arsenal.
Oh, yeah.
Arteta's going back. Guardiola's in charge. They both know each other inside out. Yeah. They're both playing exactly the same, coming out the back, as in like the little passes, lure you in, try and get you on the quick break.
Yeah.
I mean, we spoke about it how many times, Man City's defence, how poor they've been. I mean, Leicester go and score 5, could have had more. Yeah. They Leeds the other day, bombed into the penalty box, got 4 or 5 men in, attacked at will, and really upset the Man City rhythm. So Arsenal with their front line,
they've tightened up a bit as well.
You know, think Arsenal, your old team out. What do you reckon?
Well, there's no doubt they've come a long way since Wenger's gone. They've come a long way, but strangely enough, they finally got, as John said, they've toughened up at the back. They're hard to score against,
and they got the guy they just bought from Atletico Madrid. He does seem like the type of player they've been missing.
They've got some good young players.
A strong holding midfield player, because Arsenal have been too easy to get past in that little zone. Yeah. Now with this guy there, I think he's the unknown quantity. I think he's like the seek and destroy guy.
He shuffled the pack.
And he's a good passer of the ball, and so I feel that he would be a big acquisition to Arsenal.
He's changed the culture a little bit, Arteta, I think.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of belief now, Arsenal.
Yeah, a bit of belief, a bit of steel, a bit more steel.
Both teams to score for me. Do you see a winner for the game?
I don't really care, to tell the truth, because I want to see goals. I like to see goals. I like, we love our football, but we want to see a good game. It's not a game that interests me as regards who wins or not. I don't support any football teams. I like to see certain teams win.
I want to see the tactics of this game. I really
It'll
do.
be a great game.
I'm interested in how they're going to have a go at each other.
Absolutely.
You know, this is like one of them world title fights where they're just playing around.
I'll be shocked, right? I'll be shocked if Arsenal retreat and concede the ball. I think they'll get right in their face.
Well, the best way to play that is attack them.
They're pressed from the front, and as soon as it leaves the goalkeeper's hands or feet, I think they'll be flying all over the gaff and locking on.
And you've got to always remember that if Man City are having a bad time, it's amazing how they can miss someone like Aguero.
Yeah, well, obviously he gets
because this
20 odd goals a season. And
wow,
that's the difference between winning and losing.
Well, that gives the other team, like Arsenal today, like I said, with the other mob, they see he's not playing Mane. They'll see Aguero not playing, they think, oh, you know, it's one less problem we got.
I think Arsenal going this way, City going this way at this moment in time. You know, they went out when they got beat 5-2, they bought a centre half for 63 million the next day. Nice to have money in the bank.
Well, he should have bought him the week before.
Well, he should have done. It might only been 40. You know. All right, we've got the last game, which I think also the 8 o'clock kickoff tonight. We've got the Toon Army, Newcastle v Man U.
He's under the cosh, I think.
Man U, well, it's a mystery what's going on there.
He's under pressure.
We've got Paul Pogba, so-called great, fantastic player, doing nothing. We've got Fernandes. They 4-1 down Tottenham at half-time. They don't bring him out for the second half. You know, you've got like Luke Shaw, question mark. They got the other boy from Porto now.
Instead of rash to smash, he's rash to mash. I think would have scored dinners.
Well,
he's got to get his nuts straight and start concentrating on his football.
You know, we'll get on to the England game in a little while, where like obviously Southgate said he was really pleased with his work rate. Yeah. You know, it's like anything. He now wants to take the government on. I think he should start taking fullbacks on.
Absolutely.
And like make a difference. If you're paying him at Man United a couple of 100,000 a week, let's start doing something. You know, he's got to get the other side of the defenders. And he had this quality years ago, but he seems to have lost his way for whatever reason. Whether he's got his minds on other things, I don't know.
I think he was overrated in the first place. I didn't see him as good as what everybody makes him out to be. He was someone new that come along. He's quick. Don't like heading the ball. He's sharp, and he don't take the fullbacks on enough. I don't think he's as good as what they think. And when he turns around and says, "I'm pleased with his work rate," the kid's on 150 grand a week. What's his work rate?
Work rate 200.
200. Well, I'm giving him a little bit of a. But when managers say about the work rate should come without him thinking about it.
Minimum prerequisite, I want it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I know what you're thinking. I know where you're going with this. Because for 200 grand, you want a bit more than work rate.
Well, absolutely.
You want like work rate. You get work rate in a pub side.
I see some players come over on 200 grand a week, and they don't even need their shirts washing for the following week. There's no sweat, nothing.
Well, today's quite a landmark in football, as we know. It's the first time we've got like Chelsea, Southampton, Newcastle, Man U, 2 games pay-per-view.
Okay.
15 quid more or less, 14.95. They had a meeting the other day, and obviously the big picture project took preference, got booted out. You know, and the pay-per-view, part of it was meant to be going down into the pyramids, down in the, Division 1, Division 2, fitting the Championship.
Turn me off of that.
And like, all of a sudden, nothing's happened.
As you saw, is it possible to pay £17.50 and watch one half of each game?
Well, you might be able to do that. But I'm saying, getting back to that big picture stuff. I mean, Liverpool, Man U, like they're owned by Americans. They've come over. They know the pay-per-view business in the States. They know how lucrative it is. Yeah. And all they want to do is get the power of the top 6 clubs. Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, whoever the other one might be, and they want to sort of like take control.
Yeah, they've done a breakdown in the week in the paper, didn't they? 3 out of the top 6 are American franchisees, aren't they?
Yeah, well, what I'm saying, all of a sudden, we'll be seeing a lot more of this pay-per-view carry on.
It's rape. It's rape.
I mean, what more do they want to do to the football fan at the moment? We've got pandemics, we've got lockdowns, we can't go out, pubs are closing in Liverpool, Manchester, 6 o'clock. They're now going home, they want to watch a bit of football, bang, you've got to pay $50.
Don, it's a microcosm of society and of government at the end of the day. You've got confused contradictory messages coming out, and the bottom line is they're not doing right by the people.
But it's the way they brought it out, the time they brought it out. It's like they wanted to sort of sneak under the radar and think, well, you know, all the EFL clubs are going to say, well, we've got nothing else on the table. Well, let's talk about it, because they're all worried about their existence, their future.
We just bumped in an ex-player up the road. I won't mention his name. And I said to him, big Chelsea fan. He's got one of those seats with about $7 grand, $8 grand a year. You know, where you have lunch and all this.
Yeah.
All the, you know, where you want to be seen in the Osgood suite or the Harris suite or whatever. And I said to him, what's happened with your season? He said, well, they said I can either carry it on to next season, or I can give the 1,500 quid they owe me to charity. Now, who's charity?
Yeah.
We're talking about a single lad, he's got plenty of money, but that's not the point. So is that what they're saying to all the supporters? Give your money to charity. Why don't they give some money to charity? Chelsea, the big, Abramovich has got 3 yachts.
Yeah.
And he's asking them to give their money to charity.
And the biggest charity at the minute would be lower division football, if you're going to keep it within the pyramid, regardless of any other charity.
They'll be lucky when this pandemic's over, if the way they're treating supporters, if they renew their contract.
Renew the season ticket.
Yeah. Because the way they're treated is shambolic.
Yeah, it is. It's been going on for a while now, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's whatever way they're doing it, it's just the club seem to be keeping the money, not wanting to actually give you back, using the old, well, we're not sure what's going to happen when we're going to be out here. So next thing you know, it will be April, May. They'll still have the money. And as you said, they're trying to angle you to either give it away or whatever it might be. Right, getting back to our man, Mr. Gareth Southgate, the England manager.
Yeah.
We've had 2 games, forget the Wales game.
But before we go on to him, I must say, bring one point up, which I find quite amusing. I read yesterday about Ozil at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, very gifted player, no doubt. They were going to sell him to a team on the other side of the world for a fortune. He could have went. And
Saudi Arabia,
and he refused to go. Now he's getting 300 grand a week, and he ain't playing.
He's not even in the squad now.
No. So, and they're paying him 300 grand a week. It's over $1 million
down
a month.
next week.
We're getting him down. Get him on the tables.
Yeah. Do something.
Get him on the table. A couple of 100 grand on the table.
Yeah. Have a few games out there. Smash out.
Yeah, you know you're going to get covered.
All that money, and he ain't doing nothing.
If you say the truth though, I know I'm going to get quoted on social media, and then they go like, look at his record, blah blah blah. Arsene Wenger is part of his legacy.
But what I'm saying, I suppose, John, what I'm saying is they're paying out that money for the player, and yet they're trying to rate the supporter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, work it out.
Yeah.
It don't take much work.
And the mascot, wasn't it? The mascot. I think he done a little bit of PR, then he said he paid the mascot's wages to keep him on.
Yeah.
And he chose not. He's chose.
The guy's on 1.2 mil a month.
He's chose not to play because he won't go on one knee.
So many lottery wins. So many lottery, just a monthly one.
Well, what about Southgate? Is he the right man for the job?
Out.
You know what I thought? You know,
there's questions to be answered.
Yeah, they are. The punditry in the week I thought was. I was a bit disappointed in Roy Keane when I got over the highlights after work. But I thought a lot of what was said out of professional courtesy. Because I thought they could have been a lot more critical, because I don't know if we can say it, I don't know. At the moment, he doesn't look like he knows whether he's having a shit shave or haircut. Right? Because first of all, we don't know his best team. Unless, listen, I'm trying to think like him as a manager in the thing and say, well, it's a bit of a Mickey Mouse tournament. What we do, we use it as like a mini. Like pre-season.
He's taking this very serious, mate. He wants to win this tournament. Southgate, because we ain't won nothing since '66.
Well, the idea could be to get ready and tinker with it to get ready for the Euros next year, postponed from this year, obviously, to next year. The point being, on the surface, at the minute, it looks like he don't know what is his best system, what is his best team, if he's going to play 4 at the back, if he's going to play with a back 5 / back 3. If he does play with back 3, he don't know what the best 3 are.
His problem is now, Jack's messed him up. Grealish has messed him up because he's come in, he's done well against Wales, then he's left him out. So, and the pressure's on him to pick Jack. Yeah. He won't pick him. So now he's got a quandary, isn't he?
We're trying to think
But he's playing a team, the England team, the way I look at it, they're going out there sort of like organised, looking like, we're setting up not to lose, and let's maybe
rather than have
nick
a
goal.
Try and win it, yeah.
The only player, we speak about him every week, is Jack Grealish, that can open the door when it's closed. None of the rest can do it. Rashford stays on the left, work rate okay, but he's going past no one, making nothing happen. But honestly, they keep saying, he'll get his time, Jack Grealish. He's 25. Absolutely. He's not 19. You're playing for England in the World Cup at 19. He's 25. He's been like the top Premier League player in a poor side. And like when he's played for England against Wales the other week, the kid played really well. Why wouldn't he play him? He's saying, Southgate, well, I'd rather tighten it up. I don't want to get caught down there. Yeah. He's undisciplined. He might not run back. Well, hold on a minute. You're just going out there and you're saying, well, they're basically better than us before we start. And play Grealish. Let's go forward. Let's have a go at them. And Grealish will lift all the other players. Yeah. Stuff happens around these.
It's like Ericsson.
Yes,
Ericsson was the difference the other night. They had the one class player on the field.
Here's the thing, what I'm trying to do in terms of where we're at on social media, right? And what makes us different is trying to help kids, trying to help parents to help their kids and make the odd coaching point, relevant coaching point. And he played very similar to how Alan used to play. But here's the thing, we've got a man down. I'm thinking now as a coach or as a manager, you work, very rarely does it happen. You've got to move the ball quick, but you work to get overloads in areas of the field. It could be done with passing. Yeah. Right? But more often than not, it's done with dribbling. And I think it's a relevant point I want to make. Because a man down, just to get back level, you've got to have someone who can take someone out by going on amazing, right? He's thinking about bringing on Sancho. He brings on. I'm thinking to myself, so they're going to. I'm listening to Pearce on the Stuart Pearce. He's very reliable, very stoic, very. He's doing all these Southgate's qualities. I just want a manager who's tactically adept and he's got some cojones, a bit of balls. Because if we're in a tournament, we go a man down and we're a goal down to a Mickey Mouse penalty. But that's when, by the way, we're picked for doing that, right? But that's a side issue. But now we're speaking, so show us your imagination, show us your coaching thing, and show us your balls with regards to getting back into the game and then going on the winning.
We all know, John, that if you're down to 10 men, all of a sudden, you just want someone on the field that can hold the ball up for you, give you a little bit of a rest, take some people on, get a foul, really does it all the time. And maybe a little bit of magic bring you back in the game. Yeah. You cannot play with the same players doing the same thing. And Denmark were quite comfortable not even coming forward, trying to get a second, although they might have. It was almost like they said, well, England can't score, we'll just close them down.
No disrespect.
We needed him on the field.
How can we not turn Denmark over? No disrespect to Denmark. How can we not? I know they're going about. They got them off the beach to win the European years ago. How are we not beat?
But I felt like, it's the illusions are.
You say how we not beating Denmark. Who are we?
Well, a few days earlier, they're saying we just beat the best. I mean, whoever done them ratings, they're deluded, and we're deluded. If Belgium's the best team in the world at the moment, someone's on crack. I'm telling you, who's doing the ratings? Do you know what I mean?
Well, they did have that Hazard run playing the cup.
5 days earlier, Al, they're saying we beat the best team in the world.
But they weren't the best team in the world. But all it done was glossed over the cracks that were there.
Yeah, of course it does.
Let's get it right. They had a goal disallowed, was probably all right. Jordan Henderson, obviously, someone threw a harpoon in his back there, the noise he made when the fella put his hand on his shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
So we get a moody penalty. Probably 1 in 10 we give, and that was that one. Yeah, then Mount has a shot, flies over the keeper. He'd have caught it like that, it drops in. So we've actually won. We beat the so-called champs. But at the end of the day, they were very ordinary, and to me, we weren't as good as them.
I think the 4 or 5 teams off the top of my head better than Belgium, I've got to be honest. You know what I mean? So we beat the best team.
So all I can say is, get ready, Eddie. Eddie Howe's my man.
Eddie Howe?
Yeah. Why not?
I wouldn't disagree.
Premier League, young guy, lot of energy, produced good players at Bournemouth.
It needs something, but in the same way certain people weren't impressed with my documentary, I wasn't impressed with his documentary. All this, players need structure, they need organisation, and then, right, you give them liberty of thought in certain areas of the field. I'd say 40 yards out from goal, which is where Jack comes in. Yeah. When I see all this treatment, find a way for what you do. No, that's not coaching. Find a way. What you're doing, you're just putting the onus back on the player too often. I think players need guidance. They need a bit of structure.
But I think,
And then you give them. You get to a certain point, and then you've got liberty of thought, which is where your Sancho's and your.
We're talking about international players here. We're talking
Yeah,
about
no, I
players.
get that. I get
They're
that.
on 200 grand a week.
I get that.
Their experience.
Yeah, I get that.
Some of these players, people like they've won the Champions League. They won the Championship.
So why is
last
Maguire
year.
making an under 14 mistake and getting sent off? Let me ask you that.
Well,
Because you know as well as I do, on the training field at the bridge, right, he'd have got slaughtered. They'd have said you've got to touch like a rapist. That's what they'd have said. And you know that, and I know. We both know that. So let's call it as it is. You know when a ball's punched in, you get it out your feet with a blinding first touch, and you pass it with a second touch, right? Now, what you don't want is you don't want it getting stuck under your feet, or you don't want it rebounding back into play because you've got to touch like a blacksmith.
But
and then he's going into a 50
Southgate
gets the red.
This
That's an
Southgate-
under 14 mistake, Al. I'm sorry.
No,
You're talking
no,
about
no, I agree 100%.
Right, there's a reason for it because people like Maguire, he come from Wigan, he's come through, Manchester United made a record signing for him. I was in the first game when he played against Chelsea. They could have been 4-0 down.
Leicester's back
He was behind it.
Yeah.
And so he's gone there. Now all of a sudden they made him captain of England. Now, we've said it over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
There's a big step up. International football's a different world to league football.
Fair enough.
So he goes on playing against these, whether you like the Danes or the Belgians, whatever. But they're in international. Look at Ericsson. Ericsson done things the other night without even looking, without thinking.
Yeah.
We said about him the other week with Tottenham. Where are Tottenham going?
Yeah.
Well, they miss Ericsson. Like you mentioned Croatia the other day. We should have beat Croatia, but they had the other fella.
There's no doubt Maguire.
Modric.
Maguire at the moment, he's like in disarray. I mean, the other week when Harry Kane turned him, it was a basic quick turn. It's gone. It's
Well, he
10
hasn't
yards
got- he
behind
hasn't-
him.
he hasn't got-
Look,
Look, 5, 10.
Yeah, a little bit of defend, just to defend him slightly, right? And I've just criticised him. It's just a touch of blood to the red card. It goes back to, I think he don't know whether he wants to play 3 at the back or 4 at the back, and when he does play 3 at the back, he don't know his best 3. But if you look at the lineups, 1 minute he's playing with Walker, the next minute he's playing
But
with Cody.
I think the difference is, John, you look at Van Dijk, he gets on a 1-on-1, they race him down there, he deals with it.
Yeah,
Maguire can't deal with it.
I said that.
They turn him, they wiggle out,
Little
and
balls down the
like,
side,
he
yeah.
looks a little bit cumbersome,
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
yeah.
And you can't have that. So he's got to work on his game. He's got to get this out of his head, what's going on in Mykonos or whatever is happening there.
Yeah.
The England thing, he's been a decent player, but he's lost his way at the moment.
Yeah.
$85 million.
Oh, it's not enough, is it?
Yeah, I've got there was saying.
2.5 a week.
Let me tell you something. There's a radio.
What would you have been worth a day, John? Are these worth $85
Forest side with a bottle of Hosey. I think that's.
Not that much. But like,
I'll have you and Mickey drawing it back.
yeah, me as well, yeah.
Could have been worse.
As I think, like Southgate, the situation is we've had the couple of boys in Iceland that went AWOL, them 2 hot birds. We've got the other 3 who had.
You keep going on about
We've got Maguire, who's got sent off for 2 clumsy tackles. We've got Reece, who got booked when the game's finished. Someone's got to put their foot
Sent
down
off.
here.
Sent
Yeah,
off when the game was
yeah.
finished.
They've got to put the foot down and say, what's
Same
going
got to be
on?
done, yeah.
This has all got to be controlled.
It's a catalogue.
Like as you said with Bobby Moore before, you know, he sort of said to you, like, England's an important thing. As an individual player, you get more recognition playing for England and playing well and behaving yourself and being a good professional. You do it at any club at any time.
Sounds like my age group on tour in Spain pre-season. But the only difference is we won the tournament.
So, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Today, Newcastle. I think Newcastle will get a couple of goals today. I don't know whether United are capable of coming back. They've got Everton in the Cup, Carabao midweek. Big week for Solskjaer. I know he's 5-4 to be the first manager now to get the tin tack.
Pochettino's standing in the wings.
He is, isn't it?
He is. I thought I'd seen him in the ground.
I read an article in the week about that, about Harry's laid low.
Well, I mean, I think it's
kept what he
warranted.
said
isn't
to
it?
a bare minimum.
You know, football's it's a results-based business. If
Yeah.
you don't get them, and then they look at you, you know, they've got zillions at Man United.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of we play them off and we get the next available,
Yeah,
which
funny.
might be.
I mean,
might be spoken about.
that's Sahal said in the paper yesterday, or he said on television. Everyone forgot how well he done Ole last year. Well, what's done last year got to do it? You're only as good as your last game. And 6-1 against Spurs ain't good enough. Not at home.
I mean, getting back to Zaha, that is his problem.
Capitulation, wasn't it?
Consistent. He went to Old Trafford.
No, the other one. The other. The Manchester United. The kid that played for Manchester United. Louis Zaha.
Oh, Zaha.
The one that come from Fulham.
Yeah, I know.
Well, he's on telly now saying about how. So he's a mate of Ollie Henderson.
Yeah.
He's the old pals act, isn't it?
That's what happened.
You know, if you forgot what he'd done last year. But last year.
I noticed Rio's getting a little bit titchy with Ollie at the moment.
Yeah. Well, Rio's a better player now than he ever was.
Yeah.
You know, because he went missing in the end. You know, I mean, how many goals did Rio? He knocked centre half, mate, and he was unbelievable at Manchester United. I've never seen him play, and he used to play centre half, centre forward at West Ham when he was a kid.
That's right.
Rio Ferdinand.
That's right.
I don't think he ever scored a header at the other end. And
My youth team come up against him there when I was coaching him.
And now he's on telly. He's the best.
They're not renowned for sacking managers, are they? In many respects, but it's been like a catalogue of disaster since Sir Alex Ferguson acted.
Yeah, I just think they're going downhill. I just think that like the next 2 games, he finds whether Solskjaer's there or he's not there next Saturday.
Yeah.
My personal opinion, Newcastle will get a couple of goals today. Whether that will be enough, I don't really know.
I think it's tailor-made for Pochettino. I'm a great Pochettino man.
Well, he went to Spurs early, and he got organised there. He got to play.
He got
a nice style of football.
He got himself a sack in the end, but I think he'll learn from that. And Manchester United got him lined up as a service.
Well, one thing for sure, at Spurs, so you look at the thing, he never won anything there in 5 years. You look at the Southampton thing, he never won anything there, which you're not really expecting to.
I think he improved the teams where they were.
I was going to come to that, Doctor. I was going to say, because I think at Spurs, his hands were tied to a certain degree in terms of financial restrictions.
But the fans liked him, right?
Yeah. Everyone loves him.
They had a problem with the stadium, didn't
they? Yeah, well, that's...
And the financial.
Yeah.
He couldn't buy...
They couldn't go Charlie Chuckers because, speculating the market because they're over the new ground.
But he shot himself in the foot after the Champions League when they lost against Liverpool in the final.
Yeah.
He turned around and said afterwards, he said, maybe if we'd have won the final, I'd have been on my way, I'd have probably left. And I think he lost the dressing room.
Yeah.
And they would said, well, how would you like that if the players had turned around and said, we were asked for a transfer?
Yeah, we're all good. Yeah.
You know, that's when they all went. He lost them.
It's a great point.
And they went down.
It's a great
point.
We'll
finish up with Tottenham's game tomorrow. They're playing the Hammers, West Ham. They've just got Benrahma from Brentford on loan to the end of the year. This kid's a good player. He's got quick feet, finishes well. He's got 17, 18 goals last year.
I think they're probably struggling.
He will improve West Ham.
So a good player.
I like him.
This is what I've always said about West Ham, and this is what I've always on social media, some of the pals who are West Ham supporters and football in general. If you're that convinced about a player, right, then you go in and you say, yeah, I'm gonna commit to this player. I believe in him. So in that respect, why didn't they buy him? I think it tells me they don't trust.
But I think there was a lot.
Whoever's doing the scouting, whoever's having the final say, they don't trust their word or they don't trust him because for my money, it's gone from 30 million to
20 plus 5.
Yeah, and then, but instead of that, it's a loan fee. Yeah, but
I think the medical didn't go quite well. They said, well, we'll take you on loan, get yourself fit, get in the team. At the end of the season, we buy him, whatever it might have been. Yeah. I hope there weren't any drugs in the system. You never know.
Another Rio.
But here he is at Brentford. But this is what I think now. I think that Brentford said, "Oh, you're going." He said, "Well, no, I'm not." Well, you've got to go. It's 20 million. And he must have sort of said, well, you let what's his name? The forward go
to Villa.
Yeah. And you let so and so go. You told me when I came here that we were on a 3-year plan. We messed up getting promotion last year by getting beat to Fulham.
Yeah.
And now all the team's falling apart. Oh, you want me to stay here? Now you want me to go to get the money? Well, I think you better give me something, and I might go. So I think that's where it might have been. He might have put a clause in and said, no, you promised me this. You're not having it. You're getting all the money. You're throwing me out. You're throwing everybody else out.
Behind the scenes, they're enough.
I would say that
Brentford with this Moneyball turnout.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine there's some stuff going on.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we've got charity bets today.
We've covered a bit.
We've got John's charity bets. Chelsea,
yeah.
Man City and Spurs to win.
Yeah. That's what I've got more, yeah.
You like them selections? Man City to beat the
He's going
Arsenal,
to coat me, Al.
Spurs to beat West Ham, Chelsea to beat Southampton.
He's going to coat me.
Well, you're a Chelsea supporter.
They're all favourites.
Don't say that on here.
Alan's gone both teams to score 3 games. Man City,
I can see
Arsenal,
goals,
Chelsea and Man U. I've gone for both teams to score, Man City and Newcastle. So we've each got a score. Last time we done it, we all had a score selection. We all got beat by 1.
The only time
So we need to find a few winners here for the people watching out there.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'd like to thank the Grosvenor Gloucester Casino for hosting us today.
Again,
I'd like to thank Wave for coming along, the new concept for cab drivers who want to earn some extra money, and SFI, Sports Fund Initiatives. We put our charity bets up every week. So everybody out there, stay safe, good luck, enjoy your football, and we'll see you next week. From me, Don, from John, Alan, bye for now, take care.
all right.